Have you ever imagined yourself surviving in a zombie apocalypse, where every day is a struggle as you try to survive what's seemingly an overwhelming amount of the dead? A world where, with one wrong move, you could lose everyone in your group to the corpses that walk among us. Well, there's a game that simulates just how that feels. Meet State of Decay, a sandbox survival game where you have to scavenge for supplies, prepare your base, and hold out as the unrelenting hordes of zombies test your mettle within an open world map. If you play your cards right, you can build relationships with other survivors who are just trying to survive. Play them wrong, and you and your allies may lose more than their lives. If that caught your attention, then stick around, because I am much better at showing you exactly what makes this game good with its story as I tell you my experience playing the first State of Decay. Before we begin, if you enjoy what you see, please press like, subscribe, and comment down below to show your support. Thanks! We start the game abruptly in Trumbull Valley as our survivors, Ed and Marcus, try to fight back against the Zed, the stand-ins for zombies in this world. After they nearly turn us inside out, we head to a nearby ranger station where a group of survivors led by Thomas Ritter is hauled up. We help them by checking out the place and gathering resources, then stumble upon another survivor, Maya, whose group was wiped out by a horde before we arrived. When we got back, the ranger station was a mess as everyone seemingly died due to a Zed. One of them gets Ed, forcing us to look for medical aid deeper into the valley before receiving a radio signal from a girl named Lily Reiter. Yeah, Thomas Reiter and Lily Reiter. Anyways, we get to our base, which was a church, and get Ed rested before getting out to establish ourselves as productive members of society. Now this is where the game truly begins. Now we have to manage the group's resources so that everyone survives, as well as manage the base to give them what they need. Stuff like having enough beds, needing a medical tent, watchtowers, and training sites allows the base and its inhabitants to have a better chance against the dead within Trumbull Valley. And it's up to us to give them these things. I'll be gathering resources behind the scenes and doing this, so don't go thinking I'm letting them suffer. Anyways, we clear out an infestation where we see one of the few special Zeds, called Freaks, within the game. The Screamer, while unable to attack us, has a mutation that allows it to become a walking siren, which they used to call other Zeds to it. A tricky opponent, but they aren't immune to getting domed in the head with a rifle. Nearby, we see a military force clearing another infestation. When we ask for help, they shoo us off to fend for ourselves. We then head to a nearby clinic with two survivors named Alan and Sam. Alan, being an asshole, we're sent here to get some supplies for Ed and his fever, as well as Lily and her
lupus, 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 lupus,
lupus,
lupus, lupus, lupus, lupus, lupus, lupus, lupus
condition. We then grab some supplies from a supply drop sponsored by CLEO or Cleo, something that happens often. This lets us survive for just a little bit longer in the apocalypse should we run out of supplies. We then find a group called The Grange who are looking for one of their members. We help them find them and get them home safe and sound, making them our first ally within this harsh life. Another aspect of the game is missions centered around helping survivors. We will get missions given by Lily on helping people within our community as well as the other communities, which gives us better relations and perhaps supplies for ourselves, something I will be doing behind the scenes for now. We then get word from Lily that her brother, Jacob Ritter, got trapped on a farm nearby. Yes, I said rather than Ritter, and I'm gonna stick to Ritter. When we get there, we see he wasn't alone.
Come on, let's get you and your friend out of here.
No, that's okay. You just get him back to the church safe. I gotta get back to my brothers before they notice I'm gone.
Eli, we've talked about this. I'm not ashamed to be
Other game.
It ain't about shame. You know what Job would do if he caught us together.
Your brother's an asshole.
He's still my brother. I better move.
Oh, they're actually gay.
You get him home safe.
Okay.
You get yourself home safe. Don't do anything stupid, okay?
Hey, young, quick, and I got a big-ass wrench. What could go wrong?
Not gonna lie, I support it. It would have been nice had his boyfriend, Eli Wilkerson, survived the trip home. When we check on him and his family, we see him on his deathbed after being caught by a horde of Zeds. Despite the Wilkersons being assholes, we do them the courtesy to end it for them. On the way, we hear news of a new order forming up in town. We check them out, finding Judge Lawton and Sheriff Carl leading a squad of officers trying to put order back in Trumbull Valley. The one problem I have with them is that they are such sticklers for the rules that they don't let any of the civilians hold guns. They're literally cooked. We do help them out with a few infestations and some survivors in need before getting a call from the range. Apparently they need some firepower as well, because they are going to be building a watchtower. And so we did. While we did though, one of these survivors, Becca, starts talking to us about how she slept with another survivor named Quentin. And now things between them are complicated. It gets even more complicated when Carl comes around and says something about Becca and her past life, something about being a delinquent. Quentin, wanting to know about Becca, asks us to check on what Carl meant. When we find him hunting a feral, he spills it out.
That's that then. Now, what do you want to ask me?
I was wondering what you could tell me about that girl at the Grange. Becca?
Becca? You mean Alex? I am. I didn't cause her any problems with that. What do you think?
So you do know her?
Yeah, I know her. Busted her for solicitation and possession of her.
She was a prostitute?
Mm-hmm. A good kid, though. I tried to get her cleaned up and off the streets, but never took her. Anyway, she wants to call herself Becca now. That's what it is.
Well, thanks for the info. Guess I got to see.
Look, I don't know what you're asking for, but if you want my advice, some things ought to stay in the past. Anybody deserves a clean slate, if that's her.
Despite his willingness not to tell anyone, because if anyone needed a fresh start, it's Becca, we spilled it to Quentin, leaving him heartbroken about it as he sent us back to the others. Hopefully, that doesn't end badly because we never hear from them again. We then hear about familiar faces acting like thugs in the valley, so we check on the Wilkinsons and confront their asses. They deny it, but it's getting increasingly hostile between them and us, so we head out before things get heated. As the days pass by, the soldiers we met before are getting increasingly restless, with their guilty conscience getting to them until they break protocol and save some survivors. We help them in this manner, gaining another ally in Sergeant Eric. Soon after, we decide to clear out the house when another freak, a feral, finds us. Just to say this, a feral is one of the most dangerous freaks within State of Decay. They are fast Zeds who can catch you on your toes and put you down before you even know it. And this is what they did. This is our first loss in this story. This man's name was Emmanuel, another active member with whom we play frequently. We pushed him so far to help the community that when the feral caught him, he barely had anything to survive. This is why you don't push your survivors when they are tired, hurt, or in need of supplies. His death could have been avoided, and now it serves as a somber memory of what could have been with friends who miss him dearly. Rest easy, Emmanuel. You will be remembered. With his death, Jacob decides it's time to move to a more secure location and gets us to check out some new bases. Although he wanted a house with a tree fort, we opted for the more spacious warehouse and moved in. During this though, we find out that the infection has mutated, allowing it to infect people somehow and turn them into Zeds, a horrid new aspect of this reality. As the rest gets settled, we hear news of Judge Lawton under siege by a horde of Zeds. We drive there as fast as we can, but by the time we get there, the judge and sheriff are long dead. We were able to save the rest, though, which lets one of the key members, Ray, have a chance to talk to us about helping everyone. He gives us a sweet-ass ride in exchange for us helping him help some survivors. See, he wants us to drive into a nearby group in need of mechanical aid. Since he has those capabilities, he tasks us with getting him there safe and sound. After a bit of joyriding, we get him there, and that's the last we hear of him. As we get home, we find out that Alan decided to take matters into his own hands. Apparently, one of our friends got the same illness as the man who turned into a Zed, leading him to have to shoot him before he turned himself. Ironically, he also gets the disease. To follow his own ideals, we give him a merciful death by bashing his head in. The same disease also got to Sergeant Eric, as we find him trying to get through the gate that splits the valley in two. We help each other get through the gate as we find out that the army stationed here left the sergeant, his squad, and the valley itself behind entirely. He tells us to meet up with him later on to figure out what to do, letting us deal with another problem with the Wilkersons. Apparently, they roughed up a survivor who was indebted to them, a few ribs broken to be exact. We get him home safely as he tries to hide any mention of what those thugs did in fear, something we could have handled had we had the time to. For now, the Wilkersons will go unchallenged as we have bigger fish to fry. The next time we find Sergeant Eric, we find him taking care of a dying man who has also been infected. Apparently something within the water is getting people infected without them knowing it. To solve the mystery once and for all, Sergeant Eric leads us to the dam, where we find a disturbing sight.
Oh shit.
Yeah, succinctly put. Now, it's been a while since I read my field survival manual, but I'm pretty sure dead guys rotting in your water supply is what's known as a bad thing.
We're gonna have to leave the valley, aren't we? We can't keep drinking this.
And there's only one way out if you don't have air support. The pass back by the fairgrounds. It links up with the main highway after about 10 miles. Trouble is, the army blocked it off when they left. Probably trying to stop whatever this is from spreading.
Then how do we get out?
I'm not sure yet. I got a couple of leads I can check out. Meantime, you people ought to start stockpiling supplies. I don't know what things will be like on the outside, but I doubt it's good.
If we stay here for long, eventually everyone will get infected by the water, leaving Trumbull Valley with a giant horde of Zeds stopped only by a barricade that's just waiting to be opened. Our plan? Break the barricade now, and get ourselves out of there before that happens. The bad news is that we need explosives to break something like that, and the only place with explosives is a place filled to the brim with Zeds. We ready up with the soldiers as we break into the warehouse, taking down every Zed that moved, especially a Juggernaut, one of the most dangerous freaks in the game due to its immense durability, size, and power. With enough power though, we were able to put him down for good, allowing us to get enough explosives to rig the barricade to blow. This is the final day we spend on Trumbull Valley, as we get ready to move. Despite his inexperience, I grab Ed to see the mission through, as he heads to the barricade. With the help of our allies, we prepare on the barricade as Sergeant Eric begins setting up the explosives just as a massive horde of Zeds convenes on our location. We hold the line for as long as we can as Ferals and Juggernauts try to overwhelm us. As we fought, Eric realized that the detonator didn't work unless he was right next to it. With the infection already going through his system, he decides to sacrifice himself to free everyone else, leaving us a way out just as we clear the horde.
Wait a minute.
Lily, we don't have time.
Just a second.
What is that?
I wanted to leave something behind. Because I didn't make it. Even if nobody knows what it means but us. They deserve to be remembered.
Come on, Lily, we gotta go.
What do we do now?
We go to work.
Yeah, the game ends abruptly after that, ending the same way it started. It's kind of funny. Playing this game got me so excited for the second one, honestly, which I will play soon for your amusement. It may seem tedious at first, but it perfectly replicates how difficult it would be to survive in a zombie apocalypse. I honestly had a blast playing it, especially when the story progresses as you leave. Of course, it has its flaws. At the time, I can see this being a great game, especially since it has a sequel and a third installment on the way. This gets me excited to play the DLCs, one of which I will be making a video of soon. If you enjoy what I do and you're eager to see more, please give this video a like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'll be releasing on a weekly basis, so I'll send more videos around the same time as well as similar content, starting with games I've already played. If you want a full playthrough, check out my playlist. Thanks! Now, peace.